Hey guys, hope you are having a fantastic day and welcome back to another Warzone video. Today's video is very dear to my heart because we are talking about movement. I'm hoping I can help a lot of people with this video. I normally scroll through the comments and I notice a lot of people struggle on this subject. Do you ever watch your favorite streamer and they pull up some ridiculous movement and you're like, what? How do I even do that? Can I do that? Is it possible? Where do I start and how do I improve? Well, not to worry, in today's episode we are going to go over everything you need to know to take your movement to the next level in Call of Duty Warzone. We are going to go over some hardware. I have noticed a lot of console players are restricted with movement due to the capacity of your controllers, so I've done some testing and some research to see if I can help you guys out. We are also going to cover some essential settings for console and PC players to make sure that nothing is holding you back when it comes to having good movement in Warzone. I'm going to break down movement techniques from basic to the most advanced to help you understand what the differences between each technique. I will also show you some examples / breakdowns of specific things you should be thinking about when using movement. So by the end of the video, you should at least have the knowledge on how to move like a pro and utilize most of these techniques in your own gameplay. Just some context as well, I've already made 2 videos about movement. One of those was more catered towards PC players and the other one is quite old, so I thought it would be a good idea to make a new one to keep everyone updated on the latest tips. But without further ado, let's begin with the tips and tricks on movement for Call of Duty Warzone. Okay, so we're just going to talk about hardware really quickly. Personally, I'm a mouse and keyboard player if you were wondering. As mentioned before, I notice it can be difficult at times to do certain movements with normal controllers compared to scuff players and mouse and keyboard players. And to be honest, even PC players also struggle with movement due to using default key bindings, but we'll go over this later in the video. Saying that though, it's not impossible. One of the best players in the world at the moment just uses a normal controller, Exact. I'm pretty sure he uses claw grip at the moment. Disclaimer, these are just my suggestion guys, remember to do your own research and decide for yourself. Also, this won't be applicable for everyone, so I do apologize on that side. So I put a lot of thought into this and research to see how I can help, and I found these back paddles produced by Sony that you can attach to your controller. Because it was from Sony directly, I wasn't too skeptical, so I ordered some to try it out. I know everyone doesn't have money to buy a scuff controller, they're super expensive, that's just the reality of it, so I think this is actually a really good alternative. I found these on Amazon for about $30 US. So the order arrived and this is pretty much what you get. You just pretty much stick it on the back of your controller and voila. So I gave it a test run and it seemed pretty solid. I was able to do a slide cancel, bunny hops and jump shots without taking my right thumb off the right analog stick, which I think is very important. It did feel a bit strange at first due to the added size, but I think you can get used to it. I think it's worth it having the extra buttons on the back. I will leave a link in the description for the people who are interested in checking it out. Disclaimer, it is an affiliate link, so I will get a small commission if you do purchase the item. However, this won't incur any extra cost to you. Unfortunately, they don't have one for the PS5 controller yet, but I will add the link to the description if the product does come out. On a side note, I think you can use your PS4 controller on your PS5 for Warzone. I'm not 100% sure though, so just double check that. Also, for the Xbox players, you'll need to have a look around. Unfortunately, I don't have an Xbox to perform any testing. Keynote, I think you can still have good movement even without the paddles. Some of the best streamers that I watch still use normal controllers. This is just a suggestion. Please do your own research and decide if these are for you. In the next section, quickly, we're just going to go over some settings just to make sure nothing is holding you back when it comes to movement. For console players, I recommend changing the slide behavior to tap. Auto move forward is disabled. In regards to automatic sprint, I think auto tack sprint is a good option. I have heard it does take a little while to get used to, however this is personal preference, do what works for you. With the controller layout, I noticed a layout called bumper jumper tactical flip. This can enable you to use jump with L2 and crouch with R3, which can make jump shots and slide cancelling a little bit easier. Again, you'll need to experiment with this and do what works for you. So for PC settings, I recommend changing your sprint button to tack sprint. This way you only need to press shift once to do a tactical sprint. When I changed this, man, it was a real game changer. It was just so much easier to perform advanced movements to throw off the enemy. So make sure you change this and implement this in your own gameplay. On a side note, if you do change this, you'll need to change your steady aim button if you are a sniper. In regards to the key bindings for PC, I recommend utilizing the extra mouse buttons to help you with movement. Notice here your left hand is doing most of the work when it comes to movement and you want to balance the mechanics out. A lot of players have left shift, C, and spacebar link to attack sprint, crouch, and jump. And notice how your left hand is doing all of the work. A lot of people press C with the index finger, which means you have to move your whole hand. People tend to also use the thumb to alternate between C and space, and that does work. But for me though, to make life easier, I link my crouch button to my mouse. You can link jump or attack sprint as well to your mouse if you prefer. So make sure you experiment with this, guys, and see what works for you. Comment below what your key bindings are. I have a Corsair M65 mouse where I link my crouch button to this button right here. I will leave a link in the description if you are interested in this mouse. Disclaimer, it is an affiliate link. To be honest, most mouses have extra buttons on the side, so any will do. This one is just my favorite. In this section of the video, I'm going to go over the techniques to help you improve at movement. I will be also showing some examples and breakdowns of my gameplay to show you how you can use these moves effectively in battle. I will start off with the basics and then move on to the more advanced stuff as we go on. So technique number 1, the slide. You want a tactical sprint, crouch, crouch, crouch. Pretty much it's just a basic slide. This is good where you need to slide around the map or use hip fire. Super easy to do.
Okay.
Technique number 2, slide to aim down sight. So you want a tactical sprint, crouch, aim, and then jump. Pretty much this is where you just slide and aim down sight. Again, you're not actually performing a slide cancel. This is good because it's super simple and super easy to do. A very good beginner move. Technique number 3, the slide cancel. The most important technique when it comes to movement. So the most efficient way to do a slide cancel is tactical sprint, crouch, crouch, jump. Slide cancels are super effective when you're peeking around corners, moving around the map, sliding around enemies, and much more. Slide cancels are super useful when you are clearing rooms. Notice in this example, I know there's an enemy in this building. I don't just walk through the front door. I do a slide cancel and pre-shoot. Even though I miss, it's okay, I'm just clearing the area. At this point, I know the enemy is around the corner, so I use a slide cancel to make the enemy miss, while also pre-shooting to get the kill. Make sure you pre-shoot while slide cancelling in your own gameplay. Notice in this example, I bump into an enemy with no cover. I proceed to do a jump shot towards the left to get cover or break line of sight. This is just my reaction. At this point, I know he's aiming at the door, so I do a slide cancel into the room. Notice when I'm slide cancelling, he has to adjust his aim and I end up getting the kill. As you can see, slide cancels are super effective when it comes to winning gunfights, so make sure you learn this technique and try it out for yourself. Really quickly, I just want to say thank you guys for watching my videos. I hope they are helping. Also want to say thank you for all the support from everyone. Also a shout out to my subscribers. I think currently we're about 8,000 subscribers. You guys are the best, the A squad. You guys are the real MVPs. Remember to like the video if you do enjoy the content. And if you're new here, just some context. I make a lot of Warzone tips and tricks videos. We cover gunfights, aiming, positioning, movement, and much more. So if you are interested, make sure to sub to the YouTube channel. But without further ado, let's continue with the video. Technique number 4, jump shots. Jump shots are super important when it comes to winning gunfights. With jump shots, make sure you bunny hop as well so you move further. You also want to keep your crosshair on the enemy at all times. To do a jump shot, you pretty much just aim and jump to the left or to the right. In this example, I'm chasing down an enemy. I spot the enemy and we're about to engage in a gunfight. So in my head, he's already pre-aiming down this way. I'm probably in a bad spot. So I proceed to do a jump shot to the left to make sure I don't die and get some shots in as well. Now that I've broken line of sight, I use my stun grenade, push into the room and perform a slide cancel. And as you can see, he can't move. He's staring at the wall for some reason and I managed to get the kill. It's super effective using jump shots to get into cover. I use it all the time to keep myself alive and just to get the upper hand. Make sure you try this in your own gameplay as well. Technique number 5 is a slide cancel jump. To do this, you want to slide cancel and just jump in either direction. I like to slide and jump in the opposite direction, but this just kind of depends on the scenario. This technique is super effective and is often utilized a lot by the higher tier players. In this example, we notice a couple enemies around the corner who are trying to push us. Notice how I do a slide cancel and jumped after the fact to make sure I can get the kill without dying. My teammate is getting shot, so I try to help her out. Notice how I perform the same move and jump towards cover mentioned in the previous tip to stay alive. Not sure why I didn't revive my teammate here. I think she told me to go fight earlier. By the way, this is actually my younger sister. She plays Warzone with me and she's actually getting more kills than me these days. I just want to tell her I'm super proud of her, and if someone has improved in your squad, make sure to give them a shout out as well. Notice how I do a slide cancel around the corner and I pre-shoot mentioned earlier. At this point, I know the enemy is around the corner, so I perform a slide cancel jump and I manage to get the kill. It's super useful to use slide cancel jumps in gunfights, so make sure you utilize this in your own gameplay. So in this example, I use a slide cancel to make the enemy miss. It's really good for scenarios when you know a target is coming around the corner. I know there's an enemy in front of me because he's got the king contract and I can pretty much hear his footsteps as well. At this point, I predict he's going to push me, so I slide cancel and jump around him. He's pretty much looking the other way and I was able to get behind him. Make sure you utilize slide cancel jumps when you know someone is coming around the corner to throw off their aim. Technique number 6 is the bunny hop. To perform a bunny hop, you want a tactical sprint, jump, 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 and then jump again. The objective is you want to hop as far as possible. To do this, you want to time your hops. You want to press the jump button as soon as your feet hit the ground. This took me a little while to get the timing down, so this move, it will require some practice. You want to use bunny hops when someone is pre-aiming you and you want to swing out as much as possible. Technique number 7, the fadeaway, is pretty much where you jump backwards. There are 2 variations to this technique. First one here is where you slide cancel and just bunny hop backwards. The second one is where you tack sprint and do a 180. With this one, you want to time your bunny hop so you go a little bit further, mentioned in the previous tip. So technique number 8, the zigzag, is pretty much where you slide cancel in a certain direction and then you change direction, tactical sprint, and then jump or bunny hop. This is a super effective move to throw off the enemy's aim, use it for ego challenges, and to be honest, it's probably one of the hardest moves to pull off in actual combat. It's super fun though, so make sure you give it a go. So that is it for today. Just some final thoughts. I think movement is super fun in this game. I highly recommend experimenting and see what works for you. Please use this video as a guide. You're going to feel a bit clunky at first, however, as you get more experience, you'll become more fluid. Don't stress too much if it doesn't click straight away. Personally, the way I improved, I practice a lot in plunder and bot lobbies, just drilling my movement, getting the reps in, so when I play Warzone, I'm super comfortable. If you're thinking about sharing this with your squad, I highly recommend it. A good squad just means a good time. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash the like button and sub to the YouTube channel if you are interested. I hope you have a good day and good luck on the Warzone.